Here's my little survivor pigeon. Hope for Wildlife rehabilitated last year after those assholes shot him with a nail gun. He comes every morning, comes to say hello. It's funny, he always comes by himself. Comes to visit, he's so cute. Hi, buddy. How you doing? I can tell by the markings on his feathers. He's been around for a few years now. Last summer, I was sitting on the old porch and in my rocking chair, and he came and he jumped on the rail right beside me, and then he jumped on my lap. And what I noticed was what I thought was a couple of branches sticking in his fur and his feathers. And then upon closer inspection, I realized that it was nail guns. And right next door in the apartment, there was these flooring guys from Glace Bay. I won't mention their name, but anyway, they were putting new flooring down in the apartment, and I could hear the use of the nail gun. You know, for 2 days we could hear it. You can tell by the air compressor. And yeah, one of the guys working there actually shot the pigeon twice, and it was just lucky. Basically, they shot him kind of in his cheeks. It didn't get anything, and they were able to remove safely. And like I said, I called Hope for Wildlife, and Christy Martel, who's just a wonderful, sweet, kind volunteer, she came and she picked him up, and they kept him for a few weeks, and then she brought him back to us, and Lincoln got to release him back in his home. And yeah, he's still here. He's coming to visit every day, and he's got some special treats today because I kind of spoiled them. I gave them some mixed nuts and walnuts and sunflower seeds and peanuts out of the shell for the pigeons, and there's peanuts in the shell for the blue jays and the crows. And we've got a grackle. He's gorgeous, a male grackle. And we've got a couple of new visitors in the neighborhood. We've had ravens. I haven't seen them yet, but my friend and neighbor Yvette has said that she's seen them around, so I'm pretty excited to become friends with them. I think they're fascinating. They're beautiful birds. And yeah, I'm just sitting out here enjoying my coffee with my leg up after a very busy and successful party yesterday. We had Lennon's graduation party, and thank you to so many friends and family that came, and the beautiful gifts and treats and food, and of course to Brandon McKinnon and his wife Ainsley. They catered and made a couple of absolutely gorgeous spinach salad, a mixed berry with maple dressing, and a cucumber and broccoli salad. And also they prepared a bunch of stuff so we could build some charcuterie boards. And of course, Indiana is the expert at that. She did an absolutely beautiful job. And Jamie's mom brought some lovely salads, and Kathy and Everett brought a nice tray of sweets with Cape Breton fudge, which is actually owned and operated by Rita McNeil's son, Wade. And they've been in business for quite a while now. Their fudge is fantastic. And of course, my next door neighbor, Jacqueline, she made the most incredible, huge trays of mixed sweets with lemon meringue pies, mini and pork pies and score bars and brownies and blueberry cheesecake squares. Amazing. So I'm just out having my morning coffee in my little front yard oasis with all my gorgeous plants. Of course, Dad's flag, and I hung my bird feeder for my little chickadees and visitors. My basil's growing great. And this plant here, I can't remember the name, but I just love it. It turns into this beautiful purple and green and iridescent leaves. So I can't wait till it fills out. My black petunias, and of course my calendula. And these flowers are the coolest flowers because I've only ever seen them on wreaths, and I thought they were dried out, but they actually grow like that. And they're so gorgeous. Let me see if I can find a full one here. I think they're asleep. They'll open up later on today. But yeah, I mean, the calendula's gorgeous. This one needs to be dead at it. The calendula is so beautiful. It comes in so many beautiful colors. And I chopped up a couple of hostas and put them in some pots, and I'm going to replant them in the backyard. Let me do that garden over. This is my little area where I sit. So your mom painted this back in 1992. The beautiful box of little hanging. And of course I've got my gorgeous roses from my rose bush. And little Michelle's little orchid that she gave me to look after while she's gone to Newfoundland. The girls are out this morning, hanging out with me. Hung my butterflies last night. My little collection. These are things that my mom had over the years and I've collected as well. I always laugh because I always thought for years we've had this since I was a child. And I always thought it was a horse, but it's actually a unicorn. And then my little cozy spot there. Another big hostas, and of course our lemon trees are coming back. I just stuck these branches in just to add a little greenery, but you can see how nice and healthy they're starting to come back. You can see one of my birds planted a sunflower seed, and it's coming back. They leave me gifts all the time. Every year I find sunflower seeds popping up all over the property, which I love. I think that's so cool. And some people have a porch goose, and I've got a porch cock. Isn't he beautiful? He was Mom's. He needs a little painting. Mom said she's going to come over and freshen him up. Paint him up. And Lincoln's old boots. London's old Tonka truck. And of course, I have to represent my beautiful crow friends. We have another lemon tree on the go here. And this guy here, I need to replant this one. This is a canna. Yeah, he needs to be put into a bigger pot and grown. And Jamie bought me this a couple of years ago. I love it. Blue heron. And my monster hostas. And this here is a gorgeous purple blue hydrangea. It's just in here temporary until it finds its final home. I'm going to replace the snowball bush and put it there, and then put the other snowball bush, this snowball bush in the back with the other one. And then I replanted these the other day. I had some potato vines, ivy, and of course calendula, my favorite. And then my rose bushes and these plants that I bought. I can't remember the name, but they're absolutely gorgeous. I can't wait to get them into the ground. And this one here, it's a pink, a light pink and white flower. But these are three separate rose bushes. Two are bushes, and in the center is a climbing bush, and they're stunning. I'm going to trim this flower off today, and you can see there's buds hiding underneath. And this here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buds ready to open. I feel like a real true gardener with these gorgeous roses already so mature and blooming for me. It's amazing. And of course my flower boxes in the front. And my bird bath. And I was speaking to George, the gentleman that makes them. And he's going to take my bird bath and he's going to repaint it and fix it all up for me. This was a gift from Tara and Tracy on my 50th birthday. So thoughtful and so lucky. I have the most wonderful friends. And this is where poor little starling fledgling Jamie dug a hole for me, and then I put him under here. He's under the heart rock. And you can see that's his little memorial. And that little figurine is from my friend Catherine, who lived down the street, who we sadly lost to cancer the year before last. So there's a little tribute memory in a fairy garden. I know she would have loved my fairy garden. She was so creative and beautiful. I miss her very much. And a new addition here, the little pedestal and the yellow rose bushes. And that cookie jar that you see was made by someone who looked after us since I was a child and worked for my parents, Wanda Hart. Became Wanda McLeod, and then she was she too lost her battle with cancer, unfortunately. But on the bottom it has a W with a heart carved around it because her name was Wanda Hart, and I've had that since I was a child. And the cover is since broken, so I thought that plant fit pretty good there. And of course the centerpiece is our little fairy in the front. And there's a birdhouse there with a little mushroom one that my friend Tracy gave me, and all kinds of little beautiful trinkets over the years. My mom has given me the houses, figurines, and I got the little tiny people playing checkers and the wolves and animals from my mother-in-law Kathy. And that beautiful little bucket with the bluebird on it is from Tracy. But I just love my fairy garden. Of course, we need some more additions, but I think it turned out pretty cute. I did this the other night. I ended up staying up really all night. Ridiculous. But my leg was so sore that I couldn't sleep anyway, so I figured it might as well be productive. And there's my front flower boxes that Jamie built this summer. And he did the addition last summer. I just love our deck. I love it. It's my favorite place now. Absolutely gorgeous. This is something I painted same time back in 1992 when everybody was into those painting parties. Of course, it's funny because I don't go by Mary. I hate being called Mary. I only answered Mary Jane or MJ. My friend Natasha painted one too, I believe. My flower boxes turned out great. My dad's flag, and I'm trying to get recognized as the official Cape Breton flag. It's the one that it's the People's Choice flag. It's been flown for 30 years all over the world. Dad designed this flag with his employee John Fail, and he owned Island Pride Marketing back in 1992. And then they had a contest. And the original artwork is actually out of the Beatons Institute. And Dad, of course, he worked a lot with China, with souvenir suppliers, and sending your original artwork and creating products. And he had flags and t-shirts and hats and keychains and pens and pins and you name it. Everything you could possibly imagine under the sun with the Cape Breton Island flag. Dad's original flag said Island Pride, Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia, Canada, I believe. So people have changed it over the years. But like I said, we're trying to get it recognized as Dad and John's flag, just for recognition, not to monetize. And especially where poor Dad has dementia. And his memory is still wonderful and great. His long-term memory is sharper than mine. But his short-term memory is a little... He struggles with it sometimes, but he's doing well. He's doing really well. He's up at Harborstone and in room 234 at Kimberly Hall in Myra Bay. He loves visitors. Here's my little grackle. He's gorgeous. It's a male. He's green and he's got this gorgeous iridescent head. And our peanut feeder, and you can see below, is my little bumblebee bird bath for them to have a drink. It's got marbles in it. And that little swallow up there, that's from Tracy. So many things I've collected over the years. These little birdhouses are from Mom. And this was in our house in Badak growing up. This little door knocker. And of course, a reminder of who lives here when people come. Our doggies are part of our family. Jersey and Minnesota. And they bark whenever anyone goes by, but they're not cross, they're just funny. They just think they're doing their job. And then, but if they were on the other side, they'd be kissing and licking everybody and happy to see them. There's the front of the fence, the garden. I had to put a sign up, unfortunately, because customers from across the street kept blocking our driveways. But we haven't had any issues since the signs went up. Yeah, this is my little oasis. I absolutely love it. And Jamie did such an amazing job. And he's worked so hard. I'm so proud and I appreciate him so much for doing that, building this for us. The backyard last week, he literally rebuilt the deck, which is humongous. It's about 20 by 40. And yeah, he completely replaced the top and rebuilt it and restabilized it. And last summer he built the hot tub and the little enclosure for it. And yeah, he's pretty handy. There's not much he couldn't do. There's a front here. See my hanging lamp that I got from bargain bins? I got 2 of them in a box. They were flat, so people just didn't bother open it. And yeah, they're hanging lamps. I hung one out here, and I love it because it has a light switch that literally attaches to the wall, and you just hit the switch and turn it on. And I have one in the living room. And Indiana's Sonic. She has to get rid of this one here, and this one broke down. But yeah, she's a smart girl, I'll tell ya. She purchased her own cars, and she's got a job and university, and I love her car. It's so quirky. It reminds me of how basically I would have decorated when I was her age. It's so cute. It's completely uniquely her own. All these nice little funny things. She doesn't realize, or she doesn't like to admit sometimes, but she's more like me than she knows. With her quirky creativeness, which I'm so proud of. Do what brings you joy. Be surrounded by the things and the people that you love. I've been thinking about my dear friend Rebecca's unfortunately losing her battle with stage 4 pancreatic cancer and liver cancer, and she's so far away. She's out west in BC, and I wish I could go visit her. I wrote her a song and they played it for her. But man, I wish I could get out there and go say goodbye. But I understand she's basically with immediate family and the love of her life, Quinn, who's just the most incredible, loving, kind person. I'm so happy that he's there with her and her beautiful children, Thomas and Nate and Olivia and Georgia. I love you so much, Beck. I'm thinking of you always and your family. But I'm going to close now, and I'm going to finish my coffee and enjoy the day with my leg up after everything's finally done. Two proms, 2 graduations. We've got one more graduation party to go to, which is Olivia's, London's girlfriend. And yeah, we get to just enjoy the summer. Jamie's gonna rebuild the boys' lemonade stand. So Lincoln and his best friends, Bardia and Coy, are pretty excited to become little businessmen. Last summer, Lincoln and his friend Alfred, they made quite a bit of money. And of course, over the years, Indiana and London have always had lemonade stands, and they came to markets with me when I was selling my products for East Coast Sugar Mama and street festivals. And yeah, they made lots of money. They're great little entrepreneurs. I'm so proud of my kids. They're just nice, friendly people. They know how to talk to people, and they know how to sell. Which is pretty awesome. I think it's in our blood, entrepreneurialism. Anyway, I hope everyone has a beautiful day, and I'm sending my love to you all, and extra special love and hugs and kisses for you, Beck. I love you.